Ready or not, it's time to amplify. A fitting theme to this year's National FFA Convention and Expo right here in Louisville, Kentucky. Today on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
We're from a very small town in a small county in Georgia. I have 220 people in my town.
Join us as we go behind the scenes and hear from Georgia's own Andy Paul on what the past year has meant to him serving as FFA National President. Also, after appearing on ABC's The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars, how Iowa farmer Chris Soules is using his newfound celebrity to build support for agriculture and encourage today's youth. The Georgia Farm Monitor starts right now.
This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news, and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Georgia Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts.
All
Ray
right,
DeLisio
and a big thanks to our
and
pilots
Kenny
for getting
Bergman.
us back to Georgia safe and sound just in time for the start of yet another Georgia Farm Monitor. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Ray DeLisio.
And I'm Kenny Bergamy. Now, as Ray mentioned, we got a lot of good stuff to show you from this year's National FFA Convention. Also on today's program, we'll tell you about the key issues that were discussed at the recent Produce Summit in Atlanta. Plenty of ag leaders from around the state in attendance for this one. Plus, Georgia cotton producers are out in the field harvesting their crops right now as we speak, while one producer says the pickings are much better than he ever expected. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
And without further delay, we begin in Louisville, where Georgia FFA cleaned house at this year's convention. 13 national winners, 77 American degrees, winner of the talent show, top middle school chapter, and a national VP. Not bad, huh? It was also the end of an era on a number of fronts. Last time the convention would be held in Louisville, and the final time Georgia's own Andy Paul would address his fellow FFA members as their national president. His one-year term in office now complete, and according to many, a job well done.
FFA members, why are we here?
With his bright red hair, charismatic personality, and willingness to welcome any and all who come into contact with him, one could say Andy Paul is FFA's version of a rock star.
Everywhere he's been, he's invested in young people. He's shared the message of agriculture. He's talked about the importance of FFA and of agricultural education, and he's done it in a way that's 100% Andy Paul in Georgia style that no one else can compare to. So Andy's been a phenomenal advocate for FFA and ag education this year and has served his state proudly.
This year has been the biggest blessing of my life. I've had the chance to travel to 29 different states, deliver keynotes, deliver workshops, and we're from a very small town in a small county in Georgia. I have 220 people in my town, only one stoplight, and I never imagined I would have had the chance to travel. I'm going to miss this organization, but I know that those qualities, like these people that are applauding right now, they will never leave me. I know that the friends I've made will last a lifetime, and I'm excited to go to University of Georgia and be a college student.
Like Andy Paul, Iowa farmer Chris Soules is an FFA proponent and rising star in the ag industry. Earlier this year, Soules gained notoriety by appearing on ABC's The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars, and used that platform to speak the good word about farmers and the job they do. He's now using his newfound celebrity in an effort to continue that support and encourage today's youth to pursue a career in the ag industry.
It has raised a lot of awareness as to what we do, and it's brought farming to the map, small towns to the map, small town life to the map, which is what we need. And it needs, and it's, in a sense, I've heard that people say that you make farming cool. You've made big strides into making farming cool, which never was my intention. I'm just being honest in what my passion was and how much I care about it. So it's really neat to be able to have that effect without even meaning to, and then wanting to build on that and really be a spokesman for it. FFA is really important to reach out to those younger kids that are kind of uncertain as to what they want to do in life, and FFA is an avenue for them to get in at an early age to start to see how what goes on and make farming interesting.
Now, one of the many benefits of attending this convention is that FFA students have access to more than 70 leadership and personal growth workshops. For more on that, Damon Jones continues our team coverage.
That's right, Ray. It's sort of a graduation for a number of students here at the National Convention as they're wrapping up the final year of the FFA program. Now the big question is, what's next?
From the East Coast to the West Coast, FFA students flooded these rooms for a number of different workshops during the National Convention. And these sessions are especially important for those heading off to college next year as they look at preparing for their future in an ever-changing agribusiness world.
Changes are going to always be happening, and as working for an agribusiness myself, it changes so rapidly that it's so exciting, and I think everybody wants a job like that. So I want them to understand that this is somewhere where they can find themselves in the future.
And jobs in agriculture are not just in the field, as ag businesses and companies are looking for people with a number of different skills.
Maybe somebody's really into numbers or they want to be an accountant. Well, focus on agriculture, business and marketing and accounting, because you're going to be more marketable in that job with an ag background and being involved in FFA and getting involved in other FFA or organizational groups for agriculture. So I want them to realize that those choices they're making right now really does help them secure that future.
And that message was echoed by USDA Deputy Secretary Krista Harden, who wants to get the message out that job placement in agriculture has never been better.
And the latest study says there are more jobs in agriculture than we have kids coming out of college to fill them. So there are jobs there. And I hope our young people recognize that and know they have a really bright future, career opportunities in agriculture.
They have hundreds of people chomping at the bit to meet them in that expo center across the aisle. And if they don't take those opportunities, they could miss something that could be really big for them. So I want them to take all the experiences that they can have through FFA, because it is the best premier organization for students, focusing on their success in the classroom in an FFA and their individual projects.
The FFA is a program that Harden got her start in, which is why she is so excited to share her message to such an impressionable audience.
It's just one of the greatest, easiest kind of fun things to do. I mean, they have so much energy, so much excitement, and frankly, they're our future. So if I'm going to be talking to anybody, it really should be the next generation of ag leaders.
As for the future of agriculture, if this group is any indication, things are looking bright.
Hey, we're in good hands because you're going to be in charge. I have such confidence and faith in our young people, and I really want them to know that, and that the country, the world's going to be better with them in charge.
Reporting from Louisville, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, great job as always. Now, a couple of other notes from this year's convention. Andy Paul's reign as national president may be over, but fellow Georgian Abby Gretsch has earned a spot on the 2015-2016 National FFA Officer Team. Abby, an ag communications major at the University of Georgia, elected Southern Region Vice President. Also, congratulations to West Jackson FFA in Jefferson, Georgia. They took home the National Outstanding Middle School Chapter Award. West Jackson won in part for their efforts to create and sell custom wreaths as a fundraiser.
And as mentioned earlier, Kenny, this marked the final year of the FFA holding its national convention in Louisville. Starting next year, the convention returns to Indianapolis, where it will remain until at least 2024. That announcement made earlier this summer after the FFA Board of Directors said the group simply outgrew Louisville's host space.
I think anytime we're in a transition year, you see the signs around. Louisville loves FFA. We left Kansas City years ago. Kansas City loves FFA. So it is bittersweet because Louisville has been such a great partner city for us to host the convention, to provide these life-changing experiences for students to help us achieve our vision. Indianapolis, same way. Great city, great host. And so it is sad to leave. It's exciting for a new venue again. We appreciate the great people of the city of Louisville to be so great to host us.
The event is estimated to have an economic impact of $36.2 million for Indianapolis during 2016. Time for a quick break. When we come back, the Monitor profiles Mitchell County native Courtney Conine and the incredible honor of being the first and only Georgia teen selected to the ShowPigs.com National All-Star Team. Stay tuned.
My name is Courtney Conine, and I'm from Mitchell County, and I attend Pelham High School. I grew up on a dairy farm, a four-generation dairy farm, and we expanded that into pigs, and we started our own farm called Buckle Down whenever we became big and showing pigs, and it's really, I've kind of expanded from showing pigs to more of the breeding aspect, and I run a 5-sow operation as of now. And over the next year, I'm planning to expand that to 8 to 10 sows. And hopefully get some cattle back into our farm and kind of expand it a little bit more in all aspects of livestock. I'm on the Showpig.com All-Star team, and it's where they chose 18 high school students from around the country to come to West Virginia and meet a lot of the industry leaders. And I was the only one from Georgia to ever make it on the team. And it was really a great opportunity. I networked with people from California to Illinois, and I had never met anybody outside of Georgia up until last year. It was pretty cool. And I actually got to meet one of my lifelong idols, Kevin Went. He's the owner of Showpig.com. And I got to spend a week with him, and it was really awesome. And I just learned showmanship tips from him and livestock judging tips. And he actually told me that he was going to be looking for me in January when he comes to Perry. I was like, that's pretty cool. I have a passion for the swine industry, and that's what I love to do. Like, I mean, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the mornings and I walk my pigs, and then I come home and I go out there to the barn and I'll do my homework for 2 hours, and then I go right back to the barn. And so it really is, you know, you have to be very dedicated if you want to be in the industry. But, you know, it's all worth it whenever you have this gilt that you've been working on for a few months, and she comes and she does great, you know, in her class, and it's worth it all once you got that feeling of, you know, I accomplished this, I got this gilt to this point, and she did great for me. I want to have my own sow operation and sell show pigs and sell show cattle. Whenever I'm older and just run my own farm, I'll probably take over the farm that we have now. But, you know, just have the opportunity to expand that farm and just, you know, make our name known in the industry.
And wow, that is a very bright young lady. We wish her the very best. Well, produce, floral, business, and tech, it all came together at the recent Fresh Summit at the World Congress Center in Fulton County. For the fresh industry, it is the most important event of the year, as more than 18,000 attendees from over 60 countries attend. The Produce Marketing Association's annual Fresh Summit event made its way back to the East for this year's conference hosted at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta. More than 20,000 produce industry professionals, retailers, and operators were represented at the event, and the Georgia delegation had a strong representation.
This is a collection of thousands of exhibitors from across the states and internationally that comes together to promote products, services, recipes, all sorts of things for retailers in the food service industry.
The Georgia Grown Pavilion on the trade show floor covered more than 8,000 square feet and hosted over 25 operations representing the Georgia fruit and vegetable industry, including the Georgia Watermelon Association and the Georgia Blueberry Growers Association.
We're glad to be right in dead center. The Georgia Grown Pavilion had 8,000 square feet here, working with our commodity commissions and different independent growers across the state to really introduce on an annual basis what's going on in the Georgia produce industry for all the world to see. Just left a group from Canada, several groups from Mexico already, and we hope to see a lot more. But great demos going on over behind us here with a new Vide onion sausage with, of course, our signature vegetable, but also a pork sausage made by D.L. Lee Company down in Alma. So not a better place to be promoting Georgia Grown than right here in Atlanta.
Those that attended said you could feel the electricity when you stepped on the expo floor because of the energy, the flavors, and all the great conversations.
You know, we all live in such a fast-paced lifestyle now, and we want to show that housewife that she can still buy collards, kale, mustard, turnips, and they're ready to eat. And we have directions on the back of our bags that shows for those that do not know how to cook, that you know, can look at the back of the bag, read the directions, pour it in the pot, and you know, have a meal ready in 15 or 20 minutes.
What really made Fresh Summit this year was the one-of-a-kind opportunity to grow Georgia Grown to the global network.
But we just provide some additional assistance to coordinate to make sure our growers are represented in the pavilion. Various commodity commissions that are here, from Vidalia to blueberries to the vegetable commission, watermelon. So all of our various commodities here, and then we've got a number of growers that are here that are representing their products also.
Kenny, thank you very much. Now, meantime, U.S. Congressman Austin Scott recently connected with farmers in South Georgia. One of the stops on his farm tour, Worth County, where he spoke one-on-one with growers about the many important issues affecting their operations.
We're hearing a lot of talk about everything from labor to export markets. The new Farm Bill, obviously a tremendous amount of concerns about commodity prices, but key issues, as you know, I'm one of the Republicans on the Ag Committee in Washington, and agriculture has certainly been a big part of my life, and it's a tremendous part of our economy in rural Georgia. And so if we didn't have our ag-based economy, not only would we not have significantly higher grocery prices, but you know, we just wouldn't have our jobs in those rural communities in Georgia.
And his travels didn't end there. The congressman also made a stop in Cook County to visit one produce operation that depends on a good source of labor to keep their farm running.
Nothing we do is machine pick. It's all hand harvested. We tend to use about 30 to 40 in the field. And then we use about 20 up here in the packing house to pack it. So we try to keep a system going. As soon as it's picked, we're running it.
Now, still to come on the Monitor, the 2015 cotton harvest and the effects Mother Nature is having on this year's crops. That's next when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues.
My name is Tyson Strickland. I'm from Perry, Georgia. I'm a fourth-year student here at the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine, and my emphasis is in food animal medicine. I grew up very involved with 4-H and FFA, showing livestock, grew up around row crops, a lot of diverse agricultural opportunities in that middle Georgia area. And so I've always grown up with a passion for agriculture. My family's been involved with agriculture for really as far back as I can remember being told. So always had a strong appreciation for agriculture and what it provides for not only myself, but for us as a country and students here at UGA and throughout this great state of Georgia. My junior year of college, I was able to take on an opportunity with the FAVIP, the Food Animal Veterinary Incentive Program. There was a position available within that scholarship program. I applied, we went through a rigorous interview process, and I was selected. And what that program entails is that as long as I maintain a certain GPA and take on some experiences with veterinarians as well as in the food animal industry, I would then be admitted into the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine. So I held up my end of the bargain, they let me in, and this is where it's taken me. After I leave here, you know, my career plans are to actually start my own business. I would like to open a consulting practice working with cattle, primarily doing herd health and production management, and through that, you know, helping producers throughout the state and throughout the Southeast really be as profitable and efficient in their business as possible.
Well, the Georgia cotton harvest is going full speed, and farmers have had to battle many factors to get the crop out of the fields.
The Monitor's Mark Wildman traveled to Worth County, where producers are trying to harvest as many fields as they can before the wet weather returns.
Darren Hembry has harvested a lot of cotton so far this season, and he still has a long way to go. He and his family farm in several South Georgia counties and are very happy with the way this year's harvest is going. The pickers move through the field as fast as they can so they can get the crop harvested and trucked to the gin before the weather turns. A lot of work goes into getting the crop to this point.
The crop in general is turning out a little bit better than we thought during the summer months. We went through some dry spells, and with the exception of a few drought-stressed areas, the cotton crop overall is a lot better than we thought, and the irrigated crop is turning out really well.
Farming is a big business, and a modern operation has many input costs that go into raising the crop. Machinery, labor, and seed costs are just a few of the costs that keep rising, even as commodity prices are not.
Cotton prices are really cheap right now. You know, it's trading today around 62 cents on the December futures. It's hard to make enough yield to come out with that price. You get a little bit of a market loan gain, you know, when prices are low like they are now, and that helps. But it's a tough time right now.
Along with low prices, cotton farmers have to contend with some new farm policy that all producers are still learning.
The Stacks program for cotton is a new program, and we haven't experienced it yet. We know kind of the ins and outs of it, but until I think we fully experience it 1 year, we really won't know how it works. The crop insurance is basically the only safety net that we have with cotton now, and there have been talks, you know, lately about the budget cuts coupled with some $3 billion worth of cuts to crop insurance, and it's my opinion that would be detrimental for cotton, being that crop insurance is the only safety net that we have.
The cotton industry is always working on ways to improve the farmer's bottom line, and the Hembrys believe the round bale system from John Deere helps their farm operate more efficiently and economically.
There's so much less labor involved in getting the module builders and the bowl buggies to the field, and you can take, you know, one picker operator and, you know, one person moving these bales around, and you can do more in a day than you could if you had 6 pieces of equipment doing the same thing.
The harvest schedule on this farm is moving along very well, and the hope here is that all the crop will be gathered by Thanksgiving, making the farm and all of the manufacturers and consumers who depend on high-quality cotton very happy as well.
The worst thing we're fighting right now is low commodity prices, and a lot of that's out of our control, so all we can do is make the best crop that we can make and hope for the best.
Reporting from Worth County, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
And just a reminder, for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm, be sure and check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and the Farm Monitor Show.
We leave you today with a look back at all the fun during this year's National FFA Convention in Louisville.
Have a great week, everybody.